Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, it's time for Ken Stout Live.
Hello everybody, welcome into Sunday night, a stormy Sunday afternoon today. Did not get to play golf today. I was headed out the door, literally had 1 foot down in the garage. My brother texted me and said he had to postpone. Maybe, excuse me, maybe we could play this afternoon. Anybody that's part of the Zoom homies on Facebook knows this afternoon it wasn't happening because we had one hell of a storm today. I've got Sam and Greg and William with me already in Zoom. I'll go ahead and unmute their mics. They don't realize they are muted, but they are. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hope everyone had a very calm and forgiving or easy Sunday. I didn't. It was all right. It's just stormy. That's all. I have never seen a tree bend that far in my life and not snap. But then again, I really haven't seen too many trees snap, so I can't really honestly say. I don't know how far a tree will bend until it snaps. I know the one on the homies that I showed you guys, that branch was touching the ground. And that tree did not snap. And then I sat out there on the screen and porch after it laid. I'm looking at this tree. I'm like, it can go one of two ways, into their house, into our house, because it's sure not going to fall in between the houses. So let me go catch up with chat. I believe Tony Wallow was first. He was. John Aloy Sr. was second. Good to see John Aloy. I'm guessing Monday's a federal holiday. Or is it Tuesday? Or is it both days? Slide over here a little bit. Let me readjust. There we go. Could be both days, so I hope not. William Dawson, Bobby Warren was third. William was fourth. Robert was fifth. Rick Lakes was sixth. Greg was seventh. Robert, poor Mr. Guy. Sam was there. Looks like about eighth or ninth. I don't know. And that's about it. And then Wintermute says we all crazy. Ain't that the truth? Bobby said he's thinking about going back to school to study to be a SLP. It's a speech pathologist. I was a restorative nurse for about 2 years, and I enjoyed doing that. I can explain that later after we end the Zoom. Tuesday's a holiday. My work did the right thing and decided to close on Monday. Nice. That is cool. I was more or less worried if the federal government's off tomorrow because we're in dire need of something coming in, probably the Postal Service, not FedEx, as we've been told it is. So I know when I ask, can I get the tracking number? Tracking number? What's a tracking number? So who knows when it'll be here. Greg, what are you having for dinner?
Meatballs, mashed garlic flavored mashed potatoes, a little oregano in there, and some steamed corn.
Sounds pretty good. We had burnt pork, burnt green beans, and homemade onion rings. But it wasn't half bad, even though, I mean, she forewarned me. She said, I burnt the beans and I burnt the pork. I mean, it wasn't bad. I don't know how you burn both pork, no pun intended, and beans, but she did. And it was green beans, too. Wait, did I join this? A new name, Nova, but been here before because as a moderator, yes, you did join. And Robert says, poor Mrs. K. Yeah, excuse me, the onion rings were delicious. I'll put it this way. There wasn't anything left in the pork and or the beans, which were green beans, at all. And there were no onion rings left over either. It's really good. I will be right back. Have a conversation amongst yourselves while I'm gone, please. I will be right back. Who are you talking to?
Greg, you ever try stuffed peppers?
Oh, yeah. Haven't made any in about 6 or 8 months.
Tried something different at night. It didn't turn out too bad. Took the top with the onion, Italian dressing, and chicken broth, and cooked them before you put and mix them with the meat. You stuff in the peppers.
Right.
You must. I don't care. All right, I'm back. I got so wrapped up doing trying to get the macro to work out, I forgot to make me a pot of coffee. Best Burger King food I've had in a while. Oh no, soup for straight. Had to eat straight soup for a couple days. That doesn't sound good. Now I need to see if I am back. I have something in here. Yeah, I've got to adjust this somehow. And I've got to figure out how I want to adjust it because I want the email to be visible, but I don't know how or what I want to do to fix that. This is something I should have done today when I was doing the thing I did today instead of doing this tonight. That would have made too much sense though, wouldn't it? See, if I take it down too low, like, I don't know, that might not be too bad. I can go with that, I guess. Hello, Jeff.
Evening. Glad to see you didn't blow away.
No. After
I don't know how big your trees were. I have seen a tree 18 inches in diameter, bent double.
I don't know what that yeah. So let me speak the English language again. I have no clue what the diameter of that tree is, but
I mean, this is a long time ago. This is when I was a kid in Kansas. And the next day there were limbs, I mean, broken all to hell over all the trees, you know, in the neighborhood. But trees will bend farther than you think.
Yeah, oh, well, I know because I was taking a nap. I didn't feel very good. We ran to Walmart this morning, well, early afternoon. Mrs. K wanted to go back to Walmart. I said, okay, look, if we're going to Walmart, we're going to go right now because it's supposed to storm today, and I'm not going out in a storm. I mean, unless there's $1 million on the line or something, even then it's going to be doubtful. So we trudged it off to Walmart. And for the second time in as many days at the same Walmart, I was actually concerned because this time there was a police force involved. And I don't know what was going on. People are
Somebody
losing
raising
their,
hell in the store.
but yeah, they're losing their ever-loving minds. I mean, one guy was arguing with the cashier over literally cents of an item. And okay, so you're going to argue the price of something. I kind of get that. But you don't threaten the cashier. I mean, you just don't do that. There's too many people around these days with cell phones and whatnot, and everybody's like, they get their phones out and they're recording all this, and I'm like, you people are stupid. This could escalate, and
Well, and the cashier doesn't set the price. They're just reading what it rings up.
Exactly. And the cashier did the smartest thing. She got her phone out and she went 911, and the cops was there. I mean, literally within seconds. And then I thought, oh, good Lord, this is going to end horribly, horribly bad. But it turned out all right. Did I get the channel thing to work out? If you're talking about the Filipino channel, no, we did not. And yes, we did. The channel, the app itself is not functioning. We are probably going to cancel it. I am going to take my original i7 machine, which is right here, and put it in the living room and run the Shield through a capture card so that I can record her shows and she can watch them later. And that'll solve the problem. Now, I ran a test run on that today and everything worked fine except the audio, and I've always had problems getting the audio worked out. I'll get with somebody and figure the audio out. Not that the app costs that much. It's only $15 a month, but if we can get the same thing from the Shield, it's kind of silly to throw $15 away. Supposedly
you
playing
paid
golf
the
Tuesday
$15
morning. Do what, Jeff?
You'd already paid the $15 for this month, though, right?
Yeah, again, and that's what bothers me the most is, yes, we did pay for this month, and they just did whatever it was they did, and oh, you know
So
what
it's
I
not
did?
working after paying the $15.
Right, that's what it
Well,
boils
then you ought
down
to
to.
Hopefully you get your $15 back.
I sorted it out, but you just never know. Now, I'm going to change my background here in a minute, and I'm going to, first of all, figure out why I can't change my background. Imagine that. Because she's in there talking to the TV again. Good golly.
You're having computer troubles? I can't believe it.
I know, it's just inconceivable that
I
I
know,
would
I'm
be
going
having
to the waiting room.
computer troubles. No, I've already done this. So I don't have to go there. I need to choose my virtual background, add virtual background, add image, go find it. It's there, actually. There it is. There we go. So you can't see what it says. It says, I watch Ken Stout live, coming from Brett Spiner, whatever his name is. And just that look on William's face, I was like, that's the look of someone saying, are you crazy? So I whipped that up this afternoon in the dreaded D word. It turned out all right. You would think there's a lot involved in that. That's really just a picture, 2 text, and 2 adjustment clips. Really liking the adjustment clip. I'm finding out, oh, I'm bleeding now. I'm really liking how you can put them in tandem with one another and whatnot. I probably could have done it with 1, but I was messing around and ended up with 2. So, anyway. The golfing has now been moved to Tuesday morning. And that'll be fine. The 4th of July picnic thing will be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll pick her up at 6:30, 6:45. I'll drop her off at the house and head to the golf course, which means probably Monday night I'm not going to be up real awfully late. I literally had one foot in the garage, headed out the door, and he bailed out on me. And then he was like, well, we'll play this afternoon, and we know how that went, so it's good. I got in a nice little nap today and did a pretty fun DaVinci OBS thing. Oops, I said the D word. Sorry about that, Greg. That one slipped. Didn't mean to say it.
Don't let it happen again.
I've got a note right there. It says, do not say, and I just wasn't thinking. So, anyway, it was a good day.
Oh, Greg wants to Vinci?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He sure does. I didn't even hear the bell. Wait a minute. I heard it when Jose came in. I didn't hear it when he joined the waiting room. Well, I'll be glad when Wednesday gets here, I get my hearing tested. Somebody say, what? Why does this keep going in and out of focus? I don't understand that.
Say what? Can you say
What?
that again?
Somebody, did you guys hear something? Hold on a minute. Let me.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Mrs. K thinks I'm talking to her. Hello, Jose. Tony Wallace says,
Greetings.
what? Oh. She's in there talking to, there's some game show on. She's watching out of the Philippines. And I guess she thinks she's going to win by answering the questions. I don't know. I do
Hey,
not
never
know.
know.
Yeah. 35 cents. Then they don't win. But they get so excited over what little money they win. Of course, then again, it's big money for them in their country. How was your Sunday, Jose?
Oh, it's been wonderful.
You at your sister's again? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you at an undisclosed location?
Yes, I can tell. I can. You know how this goes.
The
Can tell.
secrecy, yes.
Well, now do you mean you can't tell us, or you don't know yourself where you are?
Yeah.
Uh,
Or both.
Jeff?
Could be both.
Jeff, don't be.
Now I heard the bell.
Jeff,
Are we
don't try.
ready?
Yes, sir.
Jeff, don't try to be funny.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
wait a minute. That's my line.
can't help my looks.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Exactly. No, he's only 17 minutes late tonight. I know
Oh,
I
he's-
church.
I'll wait for it.
I just said
Yeah,
you're
but-
17. I said you're 17 minutes late. You're having soundbar issues again, lad. Do we need to go through this again?
For the
hey,
18th
when I
time,
was
no.
in
I'm not
Costco
having
today, they
anything.
had a 7.1 sound system with a sound bar on sale.
That sounds like a deal. You should buy it, Alex.
Let me see if
Oh,
I can.
okay.
Yeah.
They got one of these monitors similar to what I have on sale in Costco again, except it's the higher quality one.
I don't think
Mine-
it's gonna- I don't think this will focus. That camera's just too far up in the air for me to reach. This came out of my i3 machine today. Well, anyway, it's a whopping 2 gigabyte stick.
Now, well, how many machines do you have?
2 i7s and 1 i3.
Okay, I didn't know you had the i3, I guess.
Yeah, the i3's actually it's my mom's computer. I traded her.
So was that the laptop or?
No, it's a desktop.
Okay,
I traded my mom's i3 for my i3 because she was having some weird, funky issues, and I just
Okay.
didn't want to take the time to fix it. So I just brought mine over, got her what she needed, and brought hers back. It's got a 750 gigabyte hard drive, which is now sitting in my docking station, about to be cleaned or purged or whatever. I don't think there's anything on it, honestly. And then the original plan was I was going to use the i3 to do Mrs. K's Filipino recordings. That's not going to work. Do you know how horribly slow 4 gigabyte with an original i3 is?
well, it's probably memory more than the CPU.
Well, let me demonstrate. Watch my hand.
Number one.
Now, my hand's moving. It's just moving at an incredibly snail's pace. I got so frustrated. I looked down. I'm like, wait a minute. Because I had my room all tore apart. I had the i7. I couldn't find the power cord of all things. I found everything else. I thought, I'm stupid. I got an i7 sitting here. It's going to be replaced sooner or later when Sean's computer gets there. Why don't I just use it? It's already got OBS on it. It's already got the capture card hooked up the way it needs to be. I just got to unplug it from here and plug it in there. Works like a charm. But I have audio problems. I can't figure the audio out. The video's perfect. The audio, I've got it at this volume so that I can hear it, but when it's recorded, it's about at this volume and you can barely hear it. Can you guys hear me? You can't hear me. Right?
So it has a capture card?
Yeah, I've got a capture card. So, and it's just a setting.
Yeah, I'm gonna say if the volume changes.
Well, the volume doesn't change. It doesn't record the volume at the proper level.
Well, that's what I mean. But I mean, if it's okay while it's recording, but not during the playback, seems to me that might have something to do with setting on the capture card.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know that it's necessarily recording it properly. I just know that when I played it back, you can barely. I had it up at 100% on the volume setting on the computer, and you could barely hear it. So.
Well, but sound is strange. I have the volume, it's fine. I'm using my speakers right now, but when I use my headphones, the volume drops way down, even though it's supposedly coming through the same circuitry on the motherboard.
Yes.
It's just coming through different output jacks. And I have no idea what the hell's going on with that. Each one of them says Realtek speakers, and the other one says Realtek alternate sound or whatever. Where I have my headphone jacks plugged in. So I can switch back and forth if I don't want to bother anybody outside the room. And when it's on the headphones, I can jack it all the way up, and it's still only about half the volume the speakers would be jacked all the way up.
Yeah, that's what I like. Go ahead, Jose.
Sorry. Jeff, is your speakers are powered?
Yes.
That's why, because they're powered. The volume can. I think they have their own.
They have an amplifier involved, but still.
I wonder if Nova is still in the chat room. Hopefully, I get either an answer, or if not, I know that.
Let's
Nova
see,
is not.
participants.
Yeah.
Not showing on participants. So it's been
906. It was the last comment that was made. Best Burger King food. That's 16 minutes ago. Now I really like these earbuds, whatever they're called. I can have the volume up at 70, and when I turn these on, it drops instantly automatically, which is fine, because 70 would be too loud in my ears.
Okay. So Nova does have videos of his own when you go to his channel.
Yeah, I wanted to ask if I don't know if it's a man or a woman, so trying to stay somewhat gender neutral, but looked like they play Fortnite, or has played Fortnite at some point in time. I really wanted to watch Doug play Fortnite today. I did get to see about 15 minutes of it, and then we had to do the Walmart run, which that was self-imposed, so I can't blame nobody but myself. But I was not going to go out in the storm. It's kind of silly.
You know you wanted to.
Storm will pass through and everything.
Do what,
So
Jeff?
you done for the day on the storm?
We have a what is it when the conditions are right? That's a watch.
Watch.
Yep.
Okay, we have a watch until 11 o'clock, so we got an hour and 47 minutes to go. And then the next 3 days are just crystal clear according to the app. So I hope that they are. She doesn't know it, but the tomato plants got knocked over again, and the petunias got knocked over again because I did go out in the front and check after the storm came through. So Bobby Warren says, "How am I? I'm fine. Thank you, Bobby. Hope things are going well for you." Here comes Chris Garrett. Let's place the bets on if he gets in on the first try, or will he have to try again?
My best on his third try.
What? Oh, wait. Oh, Chris, can you hear us?
Yes, it worked right tonight.
Oh my goodness, what did you do?
Had done nothing.
Oh,
It did work on the first try tonight.
It did.
Chris, can you do me a favor?
Can you leave and come back?
Ken, I'm asking him the question.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, Chris, can you come in and back 2 times more, please?
Why?
Because I want to win the bet.
So my new subscriber yesterday was SYNCRO, Syncro, I believe is how it's pronounced. And he's going to do it, actually.
Thank you.
And I do know I lost a subscriber as well because I had 282 going into the day. I know I picked one up, and I still have 282. So they come, they go, and that's just the part of the game, I guess. There's Chris Garrett joining us again.
What?
All's
bet?
right in the world now.
What
Chris?
bet?
Earth to Chris. Come in, Chris.
I'm here.
All
You hear
right,
me?
there you go.
What bet?
We had a little bet of how many times it would take you to get connected tonight. So
a
friendly wager. There was no money involved or anything.
Hey, I want to talk about that after hours, okay, Ken? And are you purposely putting Chris in the waiting room?
No. I'm tending to not put anyone in the waiting room during the live stream, and then I make up for it afterwards. Sonny Scott for cheers, guys, from north of Edmonton, Alberta. Got the fireplace going. Burr, only 52 degrees and raining. 2 days ago, it was 88. Boy, I tell you what, 52 degrees sounds really pleasant right now. It really sounds comfortable. Let's see what our current weather temperature is outside. 73 right now. Overnight low of 68, which will be all right. So they're saying between now and 11 o'clock, there's a 30% chance of rain in about 33 minutes. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are good, which is cool with me because at least finally get a golf game in. Tony Wallace got 70 and clear. Oh, mercy. Mercy. 70 would be okay in California. Not in Indiana, though. Too humid right now. I did have the air conditioner on a little bit ago, but she was complaining of icicles, so turned it off. What do you think of the latest project there, Jose?
What latest project? Oh, that?
Look at my background.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you. It looks like we got some storms up in Sam's neck of the woods. Yeah, 82 would be warm here. The humidity would just be horrible. Yeah, so far, knock on wood, no bombers, which is really interesting, all things considered. Again, I flashed the YouTube email. I still want to get to 20. I really do. Whether it's on the live stream or afterwards, it doesn't really make me any difference. But we'll see what this brings up. Oh, that doesn't bring up anything. Oh, Stream Deck's suddenly not working. Wonderful.
My stream deck's working fine. I don't know what's wrong with yours, but mine's working fine.
Alex, is there anything of yours that doesn't ever work fine? I mean, anything
No,
at all.
no, not really. Not really.
Alex, please tell us the secret.
Get an IT, get a degree in information technology, and spend
Oh,
nearly
is
10
that
years
what
of
it
your
is?
life in college.
Okay, okay.
Ken, I know what that deserves after hours.
Oh, I think we all know what's going to happen after hours.
Yeah, at least for me, that's the first one.
You
for
know,
me,
when
okay?
I start a tally sheet. Okay, this is interesting. I'm looking at the Stream Deck settings, and according to what I've got identified as for the email, it's not going to the right place. So I'm going to do something here. Let me first of all kill the golf intro. I don't want to watch it again. Oh yeah, it does go to the, now if you're watching the stream, it is showing on there. And then, so the Stream Deck is functioning, Alex, properly. Because now I'm showing on the stream itself, there's Zoom right here, my Stream Deck right here hiding Zoom, and then chat over here. And if I press the button, the Zoom email goes away. So I only have but one thing to say about that to you.
What?
Na 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 boo boo. I can't help it. I don't have it configured properly. It works. I'm not going to mention any names or throw anyone under the bus. Oh yeah, well I believe someone said they'd help me do that one day. Who was that? South of the
Probably
Mississippi.
me.
Yeah, it was you, south of the Mississippi. It's all right. I'm doing quite well for myself these days. 111. Oh my gosh. At 6:30 at night, you are still 111 degrees. It's so hot there, Jeff can't hear anything. Jeff. Oh, Jeff. Wait a minute. Am I being heard?
Yep.
Okay. That's a relief. Rick Lex joins us in chat. Hello, Rick.
I'm starting to wait for Jeff. He has that goofy face again.
It's 88. It's 88 here.
He's watching something on YouTube. I'm not sure what, or not necessarily YouTube, but the computer, I'm sure. That is warm. 111 at 6:30 at night. 111 at any time of the day is warm, let alone 6:30 at night when it's supposed to be cooling off a little bit. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Nova's no longer with us. Next time I see him or her, I will ask about Fortnite and if they are a gamer. Jesse Pinkman, who follows Doug's Gaming, was watching the OBS demonstration today, which I enjoyed. That was fun. Kind of accomplished everything that I wanted to, except for the one thing I really wanted to accomplish, and I still can't find what it is I'm trying to accomplish. That sounded crazy. I know what I'm looking for, okay? It is on my computer somewhere. I just can't find it. Alex, if you say anything, well, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Been there and done that.
It's there somewhere. I'll find it and get it incorporated. Back
If you
where I
find
want
your
it.
file, maybe you can tell me where mine is.
I actually had to go, when I fired up the old i7, I had to go into OBS settings to figure out where exactly it was putting the recordings that I was doing. And I'm like, I got like a 120 gigabyte hard drive on there just for the operating system. And I'm like, I'm seriously storing videos on this drive? No, I had to change that. Especially when I have a 2 terabyte mechanical drive specifically in that computer for data. Dumb. Just dumb. All right. right. Anybody say anything? I'm going to look at something here. Weather app
Anything?
says it's 84. Feels like 94. That's warm.
111 in Vegas.
He's back. Yes, we
20
were
minutes.
commenting about how warm it is at 6:35 in Las Vegas.
Yep.
Everything likes to default to C. Yeah, I guess I'm not really sure. It's been since rectified, and especially since the plan is to move it in there and
Yeah.
literally record from 6 at night till 6 in the morning, just start it and walk away, and then she can sit there and catch up on her days off or whatever.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
won't complain. It
understand.
took until this week to get really hot here, so I'm not going to complain.
The humidity is what's bad right now here. Of course, with these silly showers coming in and the sun pops out and turns it into a sauna and the humidity sticks around. Rick says it's sunny and 74. Man, that sounds comfortable.
I Googled your weather a couple minutes ago and it said 84% humidity where you are.
Chew! Thanks for sharing that bit of depressing news with me.
Well, you won't have to
84.
shower tonight. You just go outside and with a washcloth.
Yeah, really. I'm
You
telling
could give
you.
the neighbors a little thrill at the same time.
Okay, so this is interesting. All right, now I'm going to run a test of the Stream Deck. I just made a slight change, and it still didn't work. Doggone it. Why didn't it work?
Didn't see any sparks.
Well, I don't see it popping up over on the stream either. That's what's concerning. So I'm going to do this way. All right, it works if I go into OBS. It just popped up. I just wonder if... Nope, that is not it. Huh. So I'm on the main Zoom YouTube, and the source is called email. I don't quite follow. Again, you would have thought I might have done this today when I was messing around live stream instead of doing it now, but that would make entirely too much sense. What is this one? This one is, oh, let me see what that one is. See what this one does. Ah, okay. So if I hit that button, now it shows up. But here's the crazy thing about that. That is showing up as email of Stout Z00M at Gmail, which is correct. But according to my Stream Deck, that is not set up for that. It's set up for something else. You hear that music? Am I the only one hearing music? You guys don't hear the Twilight Zone
No.
playing in the background? I hear
No.
it.
Nope. I thought it was
Uh,
a Jeopardy theme song.
It's a Jeopardy. Yeah, there you go. 30 seconds. I guess there's a lot of controversy on Jeopardy nowadays. I haven't watched it in quite some time. Maybe I'll get back into it in the wintertime. I don't know. I guess some of the clues are not worded properly, and they're getting really picky on the final Jeopardy. They used to allow for spelling errors, so to speak. I guess they're not doing that anymore. Haven't seen Wheel of Fortune now. I don't know how long. Still rooting for Vanna, though, to get that $7.5 million to do nothing. Gives me hope. Never seen or felt 111. Well, I have, because I lived in Vegas for a while. It's warm. 111 here would be mercy.
I guess the
Devastating.
hottest I ever had it in the Midwest was probably around 100, 101, but with more humidity, of course.
Right, of course. I think we hit 116 once in California, or maybe that was Vegas. Because I know
mean,
it was hot.
yeah, it'll depend a little bit where you are in the valley here. The hottest I really expect to see most summers is 115.
There was a time like about 20 something years ago, 23, 24 maybe, that around here in my neck of the hood woods, it broke record up to 114, 115.
Now, where Sean is near Phoenix, I mean, they're usually 2 or 3 degrees hotter than Vegas. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see 118 in Phoenix. I
It
think
is warm.
hottest we ever were out here, we went to Death Valley one year. And of course, it's lower elevation. And it was like, I don't know, 121 or something.
Doesn't it have the claim to fame as being the hottest place on Earth?
Or
something
hottest
like
place
that?
in the States or something,
At
anyway.
least
I
in the
don't know.
States, yeah. That was one place that never appealed to me. You drive through it a little bit on the outskirts going from San Diego to Vegas on the 15, but I never wanted one time to go into Death Valley. Never appealed to me.
It has some interesting places in it. If you catch the right year and you go early in the spring, it's got some of the best wildflowers in the country. But usually when you get enough rain to make good wildflowers, they wash out some of the roads. So it's sort of a mixed bag. Scotty's Castle we went to the time we went, and then it was closed for several years because of washouts and whatever.
You know what it is in Death Valley right now? 118.
118.
That is Inyo County, California.
Yeah, most Death Valley's in California, so.
And just a little bit up, there's one spot in Death Valley with 118. I moved it just a little bit up, and it's 92.
Says result when I Google Death Valley weather, it says right now Death Valley, California. It says choose area. Wherever the first one that popped up was
One spot,
20.
one spot is 121. I guess
Bishop.
I don't know.
Bishop is 98. Let me see. Independence, 99.
It shows Vegas as 110.
Yeah, last time I checked, a few minutes before we got on here, it was still 111. That was our maximum today. I'm not in Vegas per se.
Warm.
I'm in what's euphemistically called Paradise, Nevada. It's an unincorporated area between Vegas and Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
I see an area west of Vegas that's Mountain Springs, and it's 72.
Yeah, well, I mean, we got mountains all around us. You can, when you're up at elevation,
Yeah.
it's cool.
What's the Mount Charleston?
Yeah, Mount Charleston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where I would be.
Like
Although
going up
that's
there.
fire territory. Would you believe I've never been to Mount Charleston?
Really?
Yep.
We've probably been 5 times. We had to go up there and see the snow. That was impressive. I mean, when you think of Las Vegas and Los Angeles and Hawaii, you don't think snow.
Yeah, I may try to go there next winter sometime. The lodge up there is being rebuilt. It had a fire, burned down.
Really?
Yeah, lodge burned down on Charleston a year, 2 years ago now.
Oh, after we left then.
Yep.
Yeah, we got all of our koi from there for free because they were going to do away with their koi pond and turn it into some kind of a outdoor mini amphitheater or whatever, which was fine with me because I got all my koi for free.
Las Vegas is actually 74.
The city of Las
Angeles.
Vegas?
Angeles.
Well, the most of your city weather comes from the airport, not the city.
Right. I live near the airport. The airport isn't in the city, as far as I can remember. The Strip isn't in the city of Las Vegas,
Not the true city, it's not, no.
not within the city limits.
What I liked about Vegas's airport is depending on where you were at, you could get some really good photos of planes landing and taking
Yeah.
off.
Yeah,
It
the
was
lodge
impressive.
burned September 17th, 2021.
Wow, yeah, that was we were still in
Yeah.
we were over in Charleston at that time, Illinois.
Yeah, his cabins are open now, but it's not clear from their web page what the status is actually. It says they've got hours for food, but they say the lodge isn't there, and so I don't know.
I would like to ask a professional photographer to
Yeah, go
ask.
ahead. I'm here. Go ahead. What's your question?
Okay. Well, my question is, I would like to see sample photos of those airplanes landing and taking off from that particular airplane. I mean, airport you mentioned, Ken.
I can
If
do
it's
that.
possible.
I can do that. Sure. You want to discuss my fee afterwards, or you want to discuss it now?
Well, I would like to discuss the fees beforehand to see if I can afford it.
Now, I haven't gone in the summer. When my grandson was younger, I used to take him when there was an area off Sunset where you could drive in and stand there right next to the airport and watch the planes take off and land. It was an area there just for viewing planes.
You know, the one thing I liked about Fry's in Vegas,
Yep.
was every now and then the flight pattern was for them to land was right across their parking lot. And while
yeah.
you could never do it, it looked like you could almost reach out and touch the planes.
Yeah, depending on when they've got two main sets of runways out there, not quite at right angles. And one of them is lined up when they're coming in from the southwest, they would go right over where Fry's was.
Right, right. Yeah, I've got, as a matter of fact, if I can find it, I'm trying to find it right now. I've got a really good series of photos actually, of the plane landing. We were at that golf course that's right there in that general area, scoping it out. Never did play it. We were scoping it out.
Yeah, I found an artist rendering of the proposed new lodge, but it's not built yet. So.
I've actually used that in some Da Vinci projects. I ought to open that. Oh, I said that word again. Doggone it. I have to censor myself here in a minute. I should seriously go set a camera up and set it where she can't see it. This is hilarious listening to her talk to the TV. Okay, not in there. Carry on a conversation, somebody. Alex, sure you got something to say.
Well, I'm better with this game than I was as a kid.
You still playing that game?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And you paid for this game?
Yeah, back 10 years ago.
Okay.
And guess what? It still works on Windows 10.
Well, I would hope you'd be better as you get older, develop skills.
Had an idea. Oh. I Sean said he had a copy of that Trains Railroad Simulator 2004 that I used to play as a kid.
Railroad
I'd like to
Tycoon.
No. Trains Railroad Simulator with the Z. The
Oh, okay.
2004
Yeah, I've heard of
the
Trains, but I've got Railroad Tycoon.
the 2004 version. I used to play that as a kid. I think Sean said he had a copy. Maybe he can send me a copy, because you can no longer buy that. You can no longer buy that game, and only sites I've only found a couple of sites to download it from, and it's really, really, really slow, like kilobits per second. Like it'd take 10 hours to download a 600 meg.
What? Well, oh, wait, hold on. You're saying on your computer system that never has issues is the world's best system. It would take 10 hours? Oh my goodness.
For that particular
That's just
website,
shocking.
for that
How
particular
long would it
website
take?
and that particular game, yes, because
I know. It
So-
goes back to the conversation we had earlier today about why my TV's so slow.
So Alex, I got a question. It takes 10 hours to download that, but how many days does it take Sean to send that to you?
Good point, Chris. Good point. Alex, that question was directed at you. We can't answer that question.
He's stuck.
Chat seems
it takes probably a whole lot quicker than me downloading it.
Do you mean he gonna send it to you by? How do you mean he gonna send it to you?
He can put it on his Google Drive account or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
Matthew Camp joined us in chat about 4 minutes ago. Hello, Matthew. Long Dog joins us, says it's okay to talk TV if we're playing Jeopardy. Well, only if you put it in the form of a question. And I personally think it should be the proper question of who, what, when, why, or where, instead of the generic one, what. If it's a person, it really ought to be who. And I know I'm nitpicking, but that's just the way I think it should be. One of the champions, every time he answered, it was what. And he said he did it intentionally because that way he didn't have to think to put it in the context of if it was a person who, location where, or anything like that. He just stuck with what. It's pretty smart thinking on his part.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you say what, when, why, or how, as long as you put it in a question.
If the answer is who's going in the waiting room immediately after the live stream, I could answer that. What is Alex Cheek? And I would get credit for that. In my very humbled opinion, I think it should be who is Alex Cheek. But that's nitpicking, and they're not going to listen to me and change the game. Wintermute dropped a link that I think is going to pertain to you. Let me go look at the link. It says, save 50% Train Z Railroad Simulator 2022. So you might want to check out the link over in, well, you know what? Here, let me drop it over in Zoom chat.
Well, that's for the 2022 version. I want the 2004 version specifically because that's the version I used to play.
Aren't you picky?
Check your messages on Zoom because I just sent you something. Don't say nothing, but it's pertaining to that game. You might be able to get it.
I can't find my.
I don't want to
chat.
say. I don't want to put it out over the internet, but I could say after the stream.
Yeah, I can't find. I clicked on chat like 3 times and it's not popping up anywhere. Oh, there we go. Man, that's crazy. There you go. There's the link that Wintermute dropped. By the way, thank you, Wintermute. And hello, Wintermute. Appreciate that. I'll chat back out again. Jose, I'll find those pictures after the stream ends. They're on my data drive somewhere. I've got some really good ones. I really do. I've actually got photographs through the fence. And Jeff, what was it? Sunset that parallels the long runway. I've got pictures where I took the lens and I butted it up against the fence because it's a chain link fence. That way I didn't get the wiring. And I've got pictures when the plane hits the ground, you can see the smoke from the tires. Not a professional by no means, but I do have some really cool pictures.
Okay, thanks for looking for that and sharing that for the next Zoom. But yeah, once again, I would like to see some professional ones.
Good luck. You want it in the next 5 years, or what's my time frame here?
Well, before I'm below ground.
Good idea. I second that. Matthew, I said that already. Winter Meat's got the link. Rick says, I'm giving up on talking. My gosh. Me and talking don't get along right now. I don't know what it is. Well, probably because it's 200 degrees in this house right now. Somebody say something.
Did Mrs. K like it in Vegas? She likes the heat.
She liked it in Vegas. If, and it's a very thin, non-existent. If we were going to move anywhere, we'd probably move back to Vegas. We both enjoyed it. We liked the ability to travel to California and whatnot, down to Phoenix, up in the mountains. We enjoyed the shows. We just liked Vegas, but with grandkids being born and my son needing help,
and
this time.
But I don't know how it is there. I mean, things are just so damn expensive here now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, a new 3-bedroom apartment rents for, I don't know, $1,600-$1,700 a month.
I was going to say about 18, but yeah, that didn't surprise me.
At least that much. I mean, maybe more.
The thing that I found really impressive, yet not impressive, when we went to Vegas in 2016, your income had to be 3 times your amount of rent.
That's sort of a rule of thumb for, well, the rule of thumb is your housing should cost about 30% of your gross income.
But in California, we never had that issue. When we rented in Charleston, we didn't have that issue. But we were fortunate. We lived in Escondido, and we made 15 or 16 trips over to find employment, to secure employment, to go to her health test, to get the letters, to find. We looked at several apartment complexes before we finally settled on the one we settled on. And the only reason we went with them was they accepted the fact that the one job was 100% secure because it was a lateral transfer from California to Vegas, and the other one wasn't. So they didn't. All the other places were like, we can't take that as secured employment because you're not there yet. Whereas the place we ended up was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You've got the letter saying you're going to start on this date. So it was a good place to live too. We really liked it.
Well, Vegas has been kind of funny. When I came here in my naivete, I just thought I went to my credit union. I got a cashier's check, I think, for $5,000. I had gotten some severance pay from where I was working, and I thought I'll just bring that and open a bank account. But I was living out of a motel because of the job I was going to, couldn't move us yet, and blah, 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 and all of that.
Yeah.
And I had a hell of a time finding a place to open a bank account. The first one I went to, they said, Vegas is the bank fraud capital of the country. And you don't have a permanent address. And I said, I got a freaking cashier's check here. What do you want?
Right.
I said, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I ended up with U.S. Bank because that was the only bank I could find that would open an account for me.
It's funny you mentioned the fact that you couldn't get moved. When I went to San Diego with the company I was with, we sold our house in Indianapolis, and they had the same thing. We had to wait on them to drive cross country for that. You know where they put us up at?
I have no idea.
La Jolla, California.
Gee.
That was tough. Oh boy, it was rough.
Well, now, I stayed in one of these cheapy weekly or monthly hotels for a while.
I
But
tried that.
it wasn't the greatest place to be. It was noisy and wasn't in a good neighborhood.
Yeah.
First one
Hello,
I stayed at before Christmas that year, I found out was a place where a lot of the local ladies of the evening worked out of.
The company I worked for, I was in La Jolla by myself for about a month, and then I had a nice hour-long drive each way, and I really didn't like it in the morning and afternoon traffic, so I went and checked myself out, and I got a hotel closer to where I worked. That lasted one day. My boss's secretary called and said, "We see you no longer in La Jolla. What's going on?" I explained it to her, and she said, "Mike said you'll be back in La Jolla tonight, and we'll take care of it. Don't worry about the drive." Like, who am I to argue? Okay.
Yeah.
So back I went.
Yeah, well, I came and I went to work for one company, but it was a government contractor, and they were changing contracts. And so that company couldn't move me.
Huh.
So I had to wait until I came in December, and I couldn't get anybody to do the paperwork to move us until into late February, because that's when the new contractor came on board. But in the interim, they just told me to find some place to stay, and they paid me $90 a day per diem.
I see the scrolls going by over on my two monitors, OBS and the stream itself. I want to thank everyone for being here. Let me get out of what I'm in. Oh, I can't do that because I can't do that. I can't. I've got something open up that I can't leave without having to shut it all the way down and restart. I don't really want to do that. So just a generic thank you everyone for being here. I know that sounds cheesy. I really appreciate everyone being here each and every night for the hour that we're live. I really would like to see some people join us for the after stream Zoom, and see some of the chaotic nonsense that goes on in there. What? We resemble that remark. What are you talking about us? Even if you don't want to join us with your camera, but you're communicating through the chat, like I'm not going to mention anyone's name, does Rookie of the Year could be his initials. Some of you will get that, some of you won't get that. But anyway, there probably will be a premiere tomorrow, because I do have one in the wing, so to speak, right around 12:30. Being a holiday weekend, Mrs. K is working. 9 o'clock tomorrow night. We'll go for a while, but I don't want to stay up all night, because the plan is I pick her up at 6:30 and drop her off, going straight to the golf course. Only because I can't talk her into sleeping in the car while I play golf. What kind of a horrible husband am I? Thank you, everyone. Good night. Have a good weekend. Have a good holiday. We'll see you tomorrow night.